Good afternoon, everybody. It's 4 o'clock. I'll call the Plan Commission meeting to order. I'll call the roll. Alder Close. Here. Kevin. Here. Joe Clark. Kim. Here. All right. And I'm here. All right. If folks could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So we have election of vice chair. It's currently Jerry, and it's been Jerry. Usually the only role is to run the meetings if I can't make the meetings. So I don't know if there's a motion or if we want to hold. Joe?
Motion to nominate Jerry.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of renominating Jerry as vice chair, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? All right, congratulations, Jerry. Yeah, it's always good when they're not here and then you just, so. All right, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes? All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor, state aye. Aye. Any objections? Chair votes aye. Minutes are approved. All right, we have two public hearings for the public today. Public hearing regarding application for conditional use with exceptions by Melissa Gundlacht to construct a new apartment units located at 1202 North 31st Street. Is anyone from the public wishing to comment on these items? Brian?
Hi, my name is Brian Kelly. I live on 2006 South 9th. So I took a look at this. It seemed like the only real reason that it was not allowed by right is the setbacks and the fact that it's multifamily. Both of these things were addressed in that housing study and reiterated in 2023. The first one was in 2021. Both of these things were recommended to the city to reduce the minimum setbacks in all zones and then consider multifamily as a permitted use by right. So I feel like I'm fully in support of this. I think it's 4 units. Seems like a great option for the city, not having to put a whole lot of investment in, if any. And we get 400 units of housing out of it. So fully support that. It seems like something that the city was recommended to adopt in terms of code changes a while ago. So
thanks, Brian. Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard on this item? Anyone else? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of closing the hearing, state aye. Objections? Chair votes aye. That hearing is closed. Next hearing regarding general development plan by Rachel Kohler to construct 3 new single-family homes and family hall building, a pool and a gym building with a garage and family apartment located at 120 Volrath Boulevard. Anyone from the public wishing to comment on this item? I saw Brian first and then Treg on deck. Brian?
This one, a little bit different from what I just spoke on, but I think it seems great that there's private investment into a piece of land. It seems like it would just increase the value there. So I think it's in the city's best interest to utilize as much of the land as it can, and this would raise the property tax, I'd assume, because there's more improvements on that land. So I feel like it should be pretty straightforward for the city to allow this.
Thank you. Trig?
Well, if anything, I wanted to speak on Rachel Kohler's behalf. I've known her for years. She does things right. She's got great taste. I'm sure she'll do a wonderful job of improving the property. I would like to, at some point in time, see what it's going to look like. I know and I love my doctor, but sometimes I like to know what the vaccination is going to involve and how it might affect me if I should run or not. But I'm sure she'll do a nice job. I think the other thing I would be interested in finding out, my taxes on my property have increased every single year for the last 3 years, and and perhaps I could get some kind of counsel from the council as to whether or not the improvements that would be going in on this property would inadvertently raise the value of my property, driving up my taxes even more. Since I've been there, our taxes have doubled, and they're getting to a point where it's getting harder and harder to sustain them. So that would be my comment.
And then just for the record, can you state your name and address?
Yes, for the record, my name is Trig Jacobson. I live at 222 Valrath Boulevard.
All right, thanks, Greg. Anyone else from the public wishing to comment on this item? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of closing the hearing, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That hearing is closed. All right, moving right along. Item 8, application for conditional use with exceptions by Melissa Gundlach to construct new apartment units located at 1202 North 31st Street. Elise, staff report.
The existing parcel is a community-based residential facility. It will be renovated into a fourplex of residential apartments. The renovations will begin on the first residential unit as soon as possible and the other 3 units in January of 2026.
All right, thank you. Is the applicant online? Any additional comments you'd like to add?
Not at this time, unless there's any questions I can answer.
All right, questions from commission members? Motions from commission members?
Motion to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of approval, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That item is approved. Item 8, general ordinance number 422425 by Elders Rust and Perla, amending sections 105-718 and 105-683 of the Sheboygan Municipal Zoning Code as to add pet daycare centers as commercial land use. Elise, you have a staff report on this one?
So the commission had briefly discussed this at a previous meeting about the need for an ordinance related to pet daycares and to define that as opposed to boarding or training. So we have come up with an ordinance for this that provides a description, zoning districts it's permitted in, and what kind of restrictions will be on that.
Okay. Questions from commissioners on this at all?
Just have
Joe? Yeah?
one question. It references a 100-foot minimum setback from residential zoning, but then notes if you're within 100 feet, there's a restriction on the number of pets. Just wondering how those two interrelate.
So there are there could be smaller doggy daycares that may not create such an impact on neighboring properties. So the idea was just to give the ability to some smaller daycares to be able to still have their facility if they don't have that 100-foot setback from residential properties.
Any follow-up, Joe?
Just wondering if that's clear enough that it seems to be saying it has to be 100 feet minimum. What's the mechanism if you're less than that to get approval with the under 12 pets, or is the intent that if you're under 12, then the 100-foot doesn't apply?
If you're under 12, yeah, if you're under 12, then the 100-foot does not apply.
Okay. I don't think the language quite states that at the moment.
Okay. Other discussion from commission members? Motions from commission members? I move to approve. Is there a second?
Don't we need the correction?
It really wasn't. I guess we need an amendment if you have any recommended language, though. But we still need a second right now to continue conversation.
Yeah, I will second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on this?
I would ask for suggestions on language to clarify that the contradictory 100-foot, but if you're under 100-foot, perhaps if it's the clarification for over 12 pets, there's a 100-foot minimum restriction. I don't have the exact language in front of me to edit.
Could that be at the recommendation of staff?
That
Certainly works for me.
That would be easy. All right. There's been a motion to amend to provide more clarification on input from staff.
Yes.
Fair?
Fair.
Perfect. There's been a motion. Is there a second on the amendment?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Under discussion on the amendment, Alder Close.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify, so reading the wording, pet daycare centers within 100 feet of a residentially zoned property are restricted to not more than 12 pets at any time. So to me, that's clear that if you're under the 12, that you can be within that 100 feet. I don't see a reason for rewriting that, but I apologize.
Okay. And
I don't have a specific motion, I apologize.
I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll yield the floor. Brian, you got a comment?
Yeah, my only comment would be, is this really necessary? I think there are other laws that might be in place that might cover the nuisance that this could create. There could be things like noise ordinances, if that's the issue, if there's like trash being left all over the place, like maybe we don't need to codify this in the zoning code. Maybe there's other ordinances that could cover the potential nuisance that this could cause. So that's kind of my perspective on it.
Okay, thank you. Other discussion? We're still under the amendment. Kim?
I think it's fair that if it was not clear to one person, someone else might have that same issue. Though I don't see it as an issue. I think further clarification at this point cannot hurt.
Sounds good. All right. Final thoughts? All right, right now we're just voting on the amendment. So all those in favor of approving the amendment to add more clarification based on staff's recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Seeing none, that is approved. Back on the main motion as amended. Right now we're back on the main motion to approve the new doggy daycare ordinance as amended. Other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? All right, that is approved as amended. Did you get that? Okay. All right, moving right along. Item 10, General Ordinance Number 412425, Elder Bellender, amending the City of Sheboygan official zoning map of the City of Sheboygan to change the use district classification of property located at 120 Volrath Boulevard from Class Suburban Residential SR5 to Suburban Residential SR5 with a PUD overlay classification. Elise, staff report.
So this rezone is for the PUD proposed by Rachel Kohler to include 3 additional homes plus a gym building and a family hall with a garage and an apartment above. The project theme for the development on the site is to increase the number of dwellings for the family as they've outgrown the existing residence. All dwellings are for private use only, not for hire, and the proposed development maintains the current residential use of the district.
All right, is the applicant online?
I am. I'm on the Teams.
All right, Rachel, any additional comments that you'd like to add?
I think we're excited to keep advancing this project, and I'm sure I will honor my neighbor's request to see a little bit more. We're finishing up some of the construction drawings, so there's more vitality into what's actually happening versus just a 2D design. So I think I'm just eager to get shovels in the ground upon approval from the committee.
All right, thanks, Rachel. And we're going to pull it up here on the screen, some of the drawings that we have. But otherwise, any comments from commission members?
And now the landscaping has been overlaid onto the site, so you can see the driveway and then a path that connects the different units.
Mm-hmm.
The addition of quite a bit of foliage of trees and other plants to create a more mature looking space, so it doesn't look like new construction. And I think we're preserving all of the old trees that I'm sure Trig and Ben and other neighbors have come to love as much as I do.
All right. Questions or motions from commissioners?
What is the approximate finish date on this project?
That's a great question. Ideal finish date is September 2026. So that's what we're keying towards. And it's a fairly large contractor in the state of Wisconsin that would be doing the work. So I feel confident that they can do it in an orderly and well-managed way so that everybody's inconvenienced as little as possible.
Additional comments or motions?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. Next is, thanks, Rachel. All right, next is item 11, RO number 1282425, by city clerk submitting a rezone application for POI properties to amend the city of Sheboygan official zoning map of the Sheboygan zoning ordinance to change the use district classification of property located at 120 Volrath Boulevard from class suburban residential to suburban from class suburban residential to suburban residential with PUD overlay classification. Elise, same?
Same as last time.
All right. Additional comments from commissioners? Motions from commissioners?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of that item, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. All right, next is the item 12. It's the general development plan by Rachel Kohler to construct 3 new single-family homes, a family hall building, and a pool and gym building with a garage with a family apartment located at 120 Volrath Boulevard. Elise, same?
It's the same. This is just the general development plan now that's being approved.
Thank you. Under discussion, commissioners, motions, comments? Kim?
Comment, is it fair to assume, like Mr. Jacobson mentioned, there's a probably real possibility his taxes will further increase?
Let's take that one. That's a question for the assessors. So
probably it would happen for not only him, but all of his neighbors also? I'm making an assumption here.
yeah, I wouldn't want to speak one way or another without our assessor's advisement.
May I ask this question? Do we feel that, or has there been anything said that as the neighbors possibly sell, age out, leave, whatever the words we are wanting to use are, is there further hope that that Rachel Kohler's family will continue to buy the block, if you will?
That would be the intent, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, other discussion on this item? Was there a motion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of approval, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That's approved. Next is the specific implementation plan by Rachel Kohler to construct 3 new single-family homes, a family hall building, a pool and gym building, and a garage with the family apartment located at 120 Volrath Boulevard. So Lise?
Same, it's just the specific implementation plan that's being voted on now.
Thank you. Comments? Motions? Come on, not all at once, everybody.
My only comment here, not so much a question, is just more for the architect to make sure you work with the fire department and make sure they have the access they need.
Good comment. Now, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Other discussion? Seeing no more discussion, all those in favor of approval state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. All right, next meeting is May 13th. We've exhausted the agenda. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning state aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 4:21. Thanks, everybody.